Oh, all right. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, um, whatever time it may be that you're viewing this. The actual time of recording this is January 29th at noon 11, and it's almost 12:12. Whatever. And the State of the Union was last night, and even when President Bush would make his State of the Union addresses, they are so well performed, they are so well orchestrated and organized that you really do need to, I shouldn't say need, but as a person who appreciates good performance, and the achieval, that is a word, I'm using it more frequently to make it more commonly used, of one's objective, if one's objective is well defined, as it is in sports, as it is in politics, as it is in competition, it is very easy to determine when the task is done. Now, with the relationship, it's different. You know, your job as a citizen, well, when does that ever stop, right? But how frequently do we have our performance of that job made known to everybody else in the community? Very infrequently. That is an element of our society that has dissipated. There was a time when communities were smaller, where moral failings or financial failings or whatever failings were much more valuable, not just to the individual. I shouldn't say this because they had more social significance because the social system made up a more integral feature of human life at that time. Now, it's very easy for people to look back at the 1930s, 1940s, and think of it as being this very a romanticized era in which people were still families, and the neighborhoods and the villages and the towns were small enough that people knew each other. Well, okay. However, the issues that have arisen, meaning excessive dependency upon mobility, and the energy needed to move people and families to and from locations, travel, to relocate in a vast land. All of these arose because they were not perceived as being detrimental. 1950s, 1960s America, let's get out and go. The middle class family that had been involved in the war effort, because everybody was in some way. That was a group of Americans who were just down for each other. And a lot of them, because they lived in homogenous communities, a lot of them all white, they almost forgot about the fact. I'm not saying this like forgot, it just was not in their consciousness. In many places. Now, there were plenty of places in the South where it was very obvious. Where there was racial mixing, North or South, it was, whoa, no, that's, in most cases, most all cases. But we look back on that now as it being, oh gosh, this aspect of that life was so beautiful and connective and communal. And there was that. There was a strong solidarity movement. There was a strong movement for human rights, for almost kind of like liberation ideology, which I think many people who are socialists or social democrats or communists or anarchists felt that sense of connection, that sense of we are a team. We are transcending nation, we're transcending ethnicity, we're transcending religion, because when we get together and do things together, it feels good, and we get a lot done. We create some incredibly powerful, moral, strong, courageous, skilled, intelligent, responsible, amazing human beings. The bigger we get, the less we know each other. The more materialistic we become. So it's, hey, I'm going to go get this. I don't know that person. I might be the most loving person in the world to my family, but I don't know that person. I don't know him. Give me what you got. You don't see me. I can see how I can see how a human mind might go through that thought process. Think about the battlefield. Think about video games. The ease with which we kill. Within the mind. When I see that body, or I see that image of a silencer, and I walk up behind, I'm thinking a lot like GoldenEye, 007. You assassinate a lot of people. That's what the game is about. It's about assassinating the most people in the most clever of ways. And the human mind needs focus like that. The human mind, especially at different stages in its development. And you look at across cultures, the human mind needs some type of focused concentration. If it's not hunting, if it's a craft. If it's not a craft, if it's not building something, or creating art, it's climbing a mountain. If it's not climbing a mountain, then it's getting in the flow state of using a calculator, or being a stenographer, or if it's not that, it's being in the flow state of giving a speech as a lawyer, or reading a book, and it's all flow. The more in flow we are, the more harmoniously we flow with that task or that action, the more capable we become. Isn't that interesting? But there are people all over the world whose flow state is inhibited by a number of different factors. And many of them reside within us too. And how culture and the formation of our sensibilities and what we bring into our consciousness, what it is that we learn, what informs our decisions, becomes increasingly powerful. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. I'll be back.